Welcome back, everybody. So this is another tough love video, and this is going to be another intuitively guided video, I believe. I hope. There may be some cards in. I don't know. I don't quite know how this is going to do yet. Hopefully there's a flow to it. This is my third time filming it. The second one went really well, but it started to get very disjointed. So I was like, maybe I don't need some of the stuff in there. But this video is about relationships and those relationships that you're holding on to that don't serve you. And I know I have seen this echoed in my own personal life. I have seen it echoed in the people around me of late. And this is something that will affect both men and women, without a doubt. And it's just really just holding on to relationships especially that don't serve you. Because you cannot fix someone that doesn't want to be fixed. You can't change someone that doesn't want to be changed. And you cannot save someone that doesn't want to be saved. And this is, I think, a reoccurring theme for some people. I can fix them. I can help them. I can change them. There's a problem here and I want to help them with it. Unless that person is willing to take ownership and acknowledge that there is a problem and take the onus upon themselves to start fixing it, you can't do that for someone else. And this is also going to be true in friendships. This is also going to be true in family relationships. If you think someone's making a mistake, it's not your path to walk. They need to walk their own path. They need to make their own mistakes. All of us have our own life paths to walk. Now, these are not the relationships that have diverged just naturally. Whether they are put on pause, you will reconnect with this person unknowingly 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years down the road. Maybe you reconnect. Or your roads have diverged and that's it. When it comes to friendships, it's a little bit hard because sometimes you have known this person for years, but you've also noticed that life has changed them. Something in life has changed them. Their life experiences, grief, loss, comparison, family pressure, something has caused a shift inside of them, and they are not the person you remember. It might even be that the side that I almost want to say they're letting out the shadow self and they're letting the shadow self rule. Like the wants, the needs, the desires, they are leaning into this kind of egoic hold on. I had pulled cards earlier and now I'm kind of starting to understand why the devil card popped up. They're lost in this overdriven sense of ego. The self-destructive patterns, the addictions, the I don't know if people pleasing could, because it could be a form of self-destruction if you keep giving so much away and you're doing it from a place of I want people to like me. I want people to know and accept me. Therefore, I will be a yes man or woman. And that's kind of what the devil is. The devil card usually stands for the ego. It's the within, it's the chains or the cages or the prisons of your own making. And this is true this can be true in romantic relationships, this can be true in friendships as well. I feel like if you watch enough Charlotte Dobre, like the Am I the Asshole series, you will see this played out over and over and over again, where people just change. Life just changes them. They don't grow, or they're unwilling to grow. And sometimes what happens is People are not willing to look inside and find the hurt, the pain, the traumas, the repeated patterns, the inherited patterns to release and heal them. You might see them as a friend or as a lover, but the person doesn't see them. And it may take a breakup, maybe more so a breakup or the loss of a longtime friend to bring these to the forefront of what needs to be fixed, provided that they are, the word that's coming through is elevated. They are elevated enough to take ownership and not stuck in this low vibration of it's someone else's fault. Bad things always happen to me. I didn't do the victim mentality, kind of. Because when you stay in this low vibration, guess what happens? You pull in people with a low vibration. And especially your romantic relationships will mirror back to you whatever's kind of going on in your life, because these are the relationships where you learn a lot, because you never come out of a relationship the same as the person you went in as. Hopefully you are learning, you are growing, you are maturing, so you're not that same person that you were when you went in, with any luck. Don't pour your energy into people that don't love you, that don't accept you, that aren't willing to work with you, that just drain everything out of you. Don't gravitate toward people that don't waste your time. It's kind of what I was getting. Don't waste your time on these people that do not value you. But you need to see your own value. So you could be with someone that does this to bring up the self-esteem issues, the self-worth issues, the things that need to be addressed on your part, because you need to value yourself to find that better relationship, to be open to that better relationship, to know that you are worthy of that better relationship. You need to work on your self-worth. And sometimes to do that, okay, now these cards are making sense. You need to step away. And it's the Hermit. You need to step away, step into a quiet space, and just kind of go within, be within. Some of you might actually be coming out of this stage. You might be stepping out of the Hermit phase into this kind of King of Wands phase, which is a time of creativity, of passion. You might be rediscovering things that you enjoyed. You're discovering new things you enjoyed. You're focusing on yourself. You're letting your passions and creativity, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman in this case, because this is the highest of the suits, so to speak. Like, the king is the pinnacle. So you are not the pinnacle of creation that you can work on. And that will eventually lead to the Two of Cups. So this love, I'm hearing soul connection. And it could be a soul connection for some of you. It could be another stepping stone in growth. But I'm hearing soul connection. So please remember that just because you meet your soulmate doesn't mean you're going to end up with that person. So you have multiple soulmates in this life. I learned this from an Akashic Records class that I did. You have multiple soulmates throughout this life. And I don't know if it's just an Akashic Record thing, but I have heard this echoed again from Akashic Record people, and the idea is you have soul contracts. And if you were only looking for one person out of the entire world, what happens if something happens to them? What happens if they meet someone else and they marry someone else? And that's what happens is you have multiple soul contracts and soulmates throughout this life. And the way this woman, Barbara, explained it was that your soulmate doesn't necessarily have to be a partner. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a pet. I know she had just gotten a new dog at the time, and she's like, if I had gotten the dog first, I never would have married my husband. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Okay. Because in my own life, I don't know if he's ever going to see this video, and I'm sorry. Sorry if you do. I remember being in a mediumship reading and being told that my ex was my soulmate, and I can very distinctly remember saying to myself, I don't really know if I want to hitch my horse to this specific cart. I don't know if I buy that. In retrospect, I can see it because it's very strange that I have no concept of time for how long we were together for. It was like he was always there and then he wasn't, but in some respects, he's still there because we are still friends. We're still talk. He is now happily married with a child. We occasionally check in on one another, find out what's going on. I'll get baby pictures. I talk to his wife on occasion, but for the most part, we are not enmeshed in each other's life. It's just a very passing thing, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy he found someone that fit into his life far better than I could. And we had lessons that we had to learn from each other. I think there were things that needed to be closed out from past lifetimes. There were lessons and feelings that just needed closure for maybe from previous lifetimes before we parted ways. And that can happen. It can be that you will meet one of your soulmates. You will learn great lessons from one another in this life, and then you will drift apart to go on to someone who is to another soulmate who is in a better position at the time when you are ready, or who is ready to meet you, to, I want to say marry you, but I do know some people probably don't want to get married. But basically that idea of to, I'm just going to go with marriage because that's kind of the word that keeps popping into my head, for marriage, for that long haul relationship. Your soulmate, so your soulmate relationship is meant to challenge you. Yes, it is meant to help you grow. You are meant to help one another grow into the best versions of each other. You are meant to push each other to grow, basically. Will there be challenges? Absolutely. But they're challenges for growth, to grow together, to be supportive of one another, to have one another's back, so to speak. Your soulmate will not be repeating problems that you have encountered in the past. I'm sorry I have my eyes closed. It's how I'm filtering the words out because they want me to tell the story. Because hand to God, I had a client, an older woman, who said she thought she met her soulmate in someone. She's like, I thought God finally sent me someone who, was exactly what I was looking for. This person has a problem that has been repeated in two other past relationships. This would be the third. And I turned around and said, and it's not a small issue. This is like a reoccurring. I'm trying to find the right words to use. How do you want me to present this? It's an addiction issue. Yeah, basically is what it comes down to. It's alcohol. It's an alcohol issue. And I'm like, do you honestly think that God would present you with somebody if it's a problem you've already countered twice before? Do you really think that this is how this works? It's not. I can tell you right now, it's not how it works. It isn't. Oh, God in heaven. So that it's not how it works. I'm sorry, my brain is glitching remembering this conversation. And it was the same tone of voice, and I know I had the same facial expressions that I do right now because there is like legit frustration in this. It's not how it works. This is a recurring pattern in a relationship that's not being addressed. I don't know what the root trauma is. I don't know what the root cause is. That's something that this person has to figure out. But if you find that you keep falling into the same relationship, different person, same issues, similar personalities, and it's not some, you have to be self-aware enough to pick this up. Your friends will pick it up because it's easier for an outsider to pick it up on than for you, unfortunately. But when you find that you are in these repeating patterns, that's when you have to really go away once you break up or once you part company. You have to do the internal work of the hermit. Because until you can determine, you can readdress it. I want to see if something else is going to come out to kind of drive this home. Until you can realize your own self-worth and let that pattern break naturally without jumping back into a similar relationship, something has to be healed, whether it's through therapy, whether it's through energy work, whether it's through your own personal work. Something's got to give, because you're going to keep repeating. It's not helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this? The 7 of Swords? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 8 of Swords? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 8 of Swords. This is not helpful. But it actually does drive home the point of what I'm saying, is that if you can't clear up this thought pattern, if you can't clear out this bad habit, these thoughts, these patterns, even if it's inherited trauma, if it's a learned thing, if it's something that came from childhood, it needs to be cleared. The pattern needs to be broken, and you are the only one that can break the pattern. Your partner can't. They can support you, but if you have a person that's got a similar pattern to past relationships, they're probably not going to be able to help you because they don't acknowledge that they have a problem to begin with, unless you are both drawn to one another because you are meant to help one another break the patterns, which is an uplifting thought, because then it means that you are both willing to grow and work together. But yes, so this is the thing. So yes, your soulmate relationship is meant to help you grow, but there's a different bond there. It is that soul connection. It's healthy. It should be a healthy relationship. Like, it shouldn't be overly dysfunctional. Now, what happens as time goes on, I feel like that should be a healthy relationship. Healthier relationship. It shouldn't be destructive. It shouldn't be full of arguing. It might, if you, depending on your personalities, and maybe some people just get off on arguing. I hate to say it. There are just some couples that just, that's their jam. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But now your twin flame is something else. Your twin flame relationships, you may never end up with your twin flame because that relationship is slightly more volatile. They will help you grow into the person that you are meant to be, like your soulmate. I don't want to say it's a more violent relationship. It's not more violent. It's deeper. Like, this person will help you almost transcend. But the thing is that because you bring out the absolute best and worst in one another, it can be a very dysfunctional relationship. but it is that love that never goes away. I mean, I think I've seen people that are soulmates that have gotten divorced, remarried, you know. They just can't be married for whatever reason. Sometimes I wonder if that's more of a twin flame relationship than soulmate, because they make each other grow. They challenge one another, they push one another, but they can't be together. And sometimes that's what a twin flame relationship can sometimes look like. You may not end up with your twin flame for that reason. They're just complicated. I meant to look it up. Maybe I'll put in the definition here somewhere. But the point of this video was to drive home this idea that don't hold on to relationships that don't serve you. You can't, I can't repeat it enough. You can't fix someone. You can't help someone. You can't change someone. You can't make somebody do something unless they're willing to do it themselves. It has to come from the person. It can't come from you. If they ask you for help, that's one thing. But I'm talking about the relationships where it's just all one-sided. Like there's an acknowledged problem, and one person is putting in all the effort and the other person is maybe a little bit more lackluster. Um, you'll see this sometimes too if there's a difference in ambition in relationships. I want you to get a better job. You need to find a job. You need to find a better job. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to. I'm trying. You know, there's all the excuses. There's this, you're not the same level of ambition. However, losing you could lead a person to go on and do great things because all of a sudden they got a wake up call. And sometimes that's what your purpose is. Your purpose is just there to be the wake up call that they have to fix themselves. They have to be willing to fix themselves. They have to acknowledge that they have to fix themselves. And sometimes it's just not meant to be. So what do you do? So what affirmation can I end for you on? We'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if this is okay. I don't know if I'm going to end up refilming it. This one went a little bit better. This one stayed a little bit more on track. Can I give you an affirmation to end on? Oh, this one fell out. Oh. I am willing to forgive. Forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer to almost every problem. Forgiveness is a gift to myself. I forgive and I set myself free. That makes a lot of sense because sometimes we do end up blaming ourselves. There is this question of why did I spend all this time with this person? Why did I put myself through this? Why? Forgive yourself. You had something you needed to learn. Maybe it took you a while to learn it, but you learned it and you came out the smarter and wiser for it. So forgive yourself and forgive the people that hurt you, for the simple reason being forgiving them allows you to go on and live your best life. Not carrying around the anger, the hatred, the bitterness allows you to go on to live in love, in light, in joy, and happiness. And that is, in a lot of ways, the best revenge you can have. As weird as that sounds, being happy is the best thing you can do, is to show someone that you didn't break me, or I have found happiness in my life through myself that is not reliant upon you. So on that note, hopefully I can get this into a cohesive video. And I will see you all again very soon. All right, take care. Bye.